3 other people trying to figure out what caused the fiery crash. America's listening to Fox News.
Picture this. You're on a date. The conversation's flowing. The food is amazing. And then bad breath happens. And suddenly you're leaning back instead of leaning in. Your confidence gone. Or maybe it's a big meeting. You've got the pitch nailed. The deal is perfect. Coffee breath is doing all the talking, not the impression you want to leave behind. Gum and mints, most are just bad breath Band-Aids and fade fast, which is why you need to try Zellman's Minty Mouth, the functional breath freshener you swallow. Zellman's tiny dual-action capsules are coated with a powerful, delicious mint filled with parsley seed oil, clinically tested to fight the toughest offenders like garlic, onions, and it even takes down coffee breath for fresh, confident breath anytime you need to get close. Zellman's is only available online. Go to Zellmans.com, Zelmins, Zellmans.com. Use the code FRESH for 15% off your first order. Zellmans.com, code FRESH for 15% off.
As Democrats continue to blame President Trump for what they call an affordability crisis, he will take the economic message he gave us Wednesday night to North Carolina today that he's bringing prices down, fixing a Biden-era mess he inherited. The day after a Trump executive order reclassifying marijuana, allowing for more research about its medical benefits, the president says
it doesn't legalize marijuana in any way, shape, or form, and in no way sanctions its use as a recreational drug. It has nothing to do with it.
Now, something else Trump-related the Democrats are angry about.
They want to rename, allegedly, the Kennedy Center after Donald J. Trump. These are sick people.
Members of the Board of Trustees for the Kennedy Center, all installed by President Trump earlier this year, unanimously voted to rename the renowned Performing Arts Center the Trump Kennedy Center. President Trump says he is honored.
We're saving the building. We saved the building. The building was in such bad shape, both physically, financially, and every other way, and now it's very solid, very strong.
The president has taken a strong interest in the center, attending a performance of Les Mis earlier this year and last week, serving as MC for the annual Kennedy Center Honors. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are mixed the day after a big gain for the NASDAQ. On Thursday Night Football, an overtime thriller in Seattle and a battle of division rivals tied for first place. The Seahawks beat the Los Angeles Rams in a late comeback.
With 2 touchdowns in under 2 minutes, with a pair of 2-point conversions, the teams went to overtime, tied at 30. The Rams took the lead on a touchdown pass from Matthew Stafford to Puka Nacua. It was 37-30 Rams. Seahawks needed a touchdown to extend the game. They got it. But instead of going for an extra point to tie, Seattle tried another 2-point conversion and got it.
Fox's Jared Max, the Seahawks 38-37 win clinches them a playoff spot. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
News Talk 710 KURV, broadcasting from the Valley's All-American Truck Headquarters studio at PayneAutomall.com.
Happy Friday and Merry Christmas. This is News Talk 710 KURV. It is December 19th, 2025. Valley's Morning News with show producer Fred Cruz, meteorologist Jason Caterina from AccuWeather. I'm Sergio Sanchez. Appreciate you waking up. Big news from the White House. President Trump rescheduling marijuana in an executive order. President Trump rescheduled marijuana from a Schedule 1 drug to Schedule 3 reaction from the cannabis industry in Texas.
This rescheduling does not mean the feds have legalized marijuana, but it does acknowledge that the drug has a medicinal value, according to the Texas Cannabis Policy Center's Heather Fazio.
Cannabis is good medicine for so many Americans and so many Texans. Now we're going to be able to do research to prove that, and we're going to be able to move forward with a lower level of stigmatization.
That lower level would also make the drug easier for doctors to eventually be able to prescribe in places like Texas.
It certainly would be easier for pharmaceutical companies to get these drugs approved as a Schedule 3 substance.
Schedule 3 drugs, by definition, have a moderate to low potential for physical or psychological dependence. In Austin, Chris Fox, News Talk 710 KURV.
Education note for Texas. The final report card for Texas public schools, that is out.
Parents groups say the 8th rough grades are an important reference point, but they do not give the full view of the campus.
You should be involved with what's going on in your student's classroom. You should be talking to the teacher.
Bob Popinski with the group Raise Your Hand Texas says that the grades heavily reflect scores on one standardized test. The final accountability ratings reflect changes to 14 school systems who filed an appeal.
Michael Board with that report. This note from U.S. Customs Border Protection at the Far International Bridge. They say they were able to take $10 million off the streets of suspected meth recently in a shipment that was carrying oat flakes coming in from Mexico. A daycare worker in Brownsville who pleaded guilty following the death of a 4-year-old will not be going to prison. Follow up in this case. A Cameron County judge decided to give Karen Silva 10 years of probation. She was arrested this past summer after the death of the 4-year-old who was found inside a van at the daycare where she worked. She pleaded guilty, received 5 years in prison last month, but the judge has decided to grant Ms. Silva probation based on testimony that she is pregnant and faces possible complications if sent to prison. Ms. Silva will also be deported to Mexico after overstaying her visa. It's 7:08 on the Valley's Morning News. And a new partnership between DoorDash and OpenAI might be changing the way you plan dinner or the groceries that you get.
DoorDash is teaming up with OpenAI to bring grocery shopping directly into ChatGPT. Now, the new DoorDash app lets users turn recipes into instant grocery orders delivered from local stores in as little as an hour. Now, shoppers can ask ChatGPT for meal ideas, build a grocery list automatically, and check out all without leaving the chat. The service connects customers to major retailers like Kroger, along with other regional favorites. DoorDash says the goal is simple: save time, make shopping easier, and meet customers where inspiration starts.
Kristen Diaz with that report at 7:09. It is AccuWeather time. And Merry Christmas from Dougie and all the gang at Martin Farm and Ranch. Remember to stop there on Monday Christmas. You never know, you might find the perfect gift stocking stuffer at Martin Farm and Ranch. They have the best selection of Purina feed as well. AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina is joining us. And we're back down to upper 70s for today. And I took a look. AccuWeather.com, by the way. Check out AccuWeather.com, the analysis, the forecast that they do, extended forecast. So the latest write-up from AccuWeather, if you check online, temperatures for the valley will be in the 80s starting this weekend. They will stay in the 80s through Christmas, all next week. So that's the plan.
Including Christmas.
Including Christmas, yeah. That's right. Like low 80s, low to mid 80s, right?
Yeah,
So,
it's just been trending warmer for us with, the way the area the high pressure is going to set up out over the southeast will just be in the return flow of that thing. And just going to keep us warm as we make our way through the holiday week.
which means Texas travel will be okay. We got a lot of families that are probably leaving this weekend, like after school today. Some of them might be leaving as soon as the kids are out of school. So it'll be nice, warm, dry for the state of Texas. Are there any trouble spots? Like, let's say, I don't know, somebody hops on a plane, goes up northeast? Or
Yeah, the Northeast is going to be really challenging today. There's high wind warnings and wind advisories at all the major airports along the Northeast. You're talking Philly, Newark, LaGuardia, JFK, all the way over to Logan and all those small airports in between. So the entire Northeast dealing with a lot of wind today. And like I said, high wind warnings and wind advisories all day.
Well, it stinks to be them. We'll take the pleasant travel weather here in Texas. Let's see here. So highs today, upper 70, 77, 79, I'm guessing. And then tonight, back to like the low 60s. I expect temperatures like that. And tomorrow,
mid and upper 80s.
Let's just round it out to 90. You put it 89.
89 is the record. 86 is what we've got it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, okay, good. That's a little better. So mid upper 80s, Saturday, Sunday, Monday too. There you go. Temperatures in the 80s for
just
Christmas.
Pretty much straight through.
Yeah. The nasty, nasty cold. Jack Frost won't be showing up till like probably January or February around here. The nasty February Texas, deadly Texas freeze a few years ago was in February. That's when it hit us. Let's see. National days today. I know you probably already went to several functions or heard of several functions, but today is the official day for Ugly Christmas Sweater. There you go.
Oh, my son's got mine. I wish I had mine. It's pretty awesome. It's got drunk elves on it.
I've got a torn Dallas Cowboy sweater I could probably wear for next hour. So yeah, Torn by a Cowboy fan, threw it away, and I picked it up as a chamois. So I know I could wear this as an ugly sweater. Let's see. It's also National Oatmeal Muffin Day. Well, that sounds pretty good. With a glass of milk. All right, pal. Call you next hour. That's AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Katerina on 710 KURV. Time is 7:12 on the Valley's Morning News. More news affecting education, a new state law banning public schools from programs, or discussions on issues like race and gender issues, sexual orientation, a law banning all of that be talked about in public schools, is now in the hands of a federal judge in Houston.
It's called the Parental Bill of Rights. It was authored by then state senator, now Texas Tech Chancellor Brandon Creighton.
This bill builds upon our ban of teaching critical race theory, and it goes further to ensure that our classrooms remain focused on academic excellence rather than politics.
The ACLU and a coalition of student and LGBTQ rights groups filed suit calling the law a violation of students' First and 14th Amendment rights. ACLU of Texas attorney Brian Klosterboer argued against the law.
It's an attempt by the Texas legislature to censor and whitewash our history, to censor our speech.
They claim the law violates the First and 14th Amendments. In Austin, Chris Fox, News Talk 710 KURV.
And if you thought that TikTok was now American-owned, doesn't exist yet. There's an agreement now. In the news today, there's an agreement to create it, but TikTok is still Chinese-owned if you're there. And this coming Sunday will be the shortest day of the year. That's when we reach full tilt for winter, and then we start working our way on back. So it'll be the longest, darkest night will be this coming Sunday. This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. Going to share a conversation I had with Kelly Hancock. He's the Texas Comptroller. We looked at several things: the economic impact of the Rio Grande Valley Port of Brownsville, the economic impact of the Texas economy, various ports, and do you have property from family that needs to be claimed? Maybe a bank account, land, something like that. Yeah, his office can help. We'll talk about that next on 710 KURV.
Eggland's Best, the only eggs with more fresh and delicious taste, plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best, better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Come into Volvo Cars Edinburgh today and find the Volvo that's right for you. Shop from a great selection of Volvos today. Get comfortable in the incredible new 2026 Volvo XC40 with all new technology and innovation that makes the Volvo brand stand out from the rest. Lease one today for just $389 a month. That's right, $389 a month. We shop the competition so you don't have to at Volvo Cars Edinburgh. Dale gas!
Look at the rack on that one. That buck's been eating Purina Antler Max 20 because it ensures maximum antler growth. In the fall, Martin Farm and Ranch recommends Purina Rut and Conditioner 16 for keeping your deer and exotics top condition during winter rut. For breeding operations, we're fully stocked with Antler Max deer breeder rations, with a large selection of all seasons feeders and blinds and Purina Antler Max feeds. Your deer couldn't do any better.
Come see us at Martin Farm and Ranch Supply in Edinburgh. Just look for the horse.
This is your news, weather, and talk station. News Talk 710 KURV and KURV.com.
Round one, college football playoffs. That would be tomorrow. We got the Aggies hosting Miami. Hope you can join us for the 10 in the morning broadcast from the Aggie Radio Network. 11 o'clock kickoff here on 710 KURV. Aggie football made possible this season by many supporters, including Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing. Big thank you as well to Amigo Power Equipment. Comptroller for the state of Texas, Kelly Hancock at 710 KURV. Appreciate you making time coming over.
Appreciate
to it. He's doing quite the tour of the RGV, so he's with us in Mission, and then going down the street an hour or so across town to the Port of Brownsville. And he was telling me it's not only the Port of Brownsville that, for example, he's visiting, but he's been doing a tour of other ports in Texas. So tell me about that tour, visiting other ports.
Yeah, the ports do a tremendous impact to the state, to the GDP of the state. In fact, here in Brownsville alone, nearly $12 billion impact to the state's GDP. And so the port here is a net exporter, but we're in Beaumont a couple of weeks ago. So we continue to travel, and we have inland ports. We're up in the Alliance area, in the Fort Worth area, where we have inland ports that combine rail and air and containers that are coming from here. And of course, Brownsville, very important to the community as well.
A few years back, and not too long ago, the previous chief at the Port of Brownsville, we had an on-air conversation about, and it was a legislative session, I think like 2 or 3 cycles ago, or there was a focus by lawmakers to be sure that they created a fund so there would be access to capital projects, road improvements, and maybe cranes, things like that they need to improve, dredge as well. I'm guessing it's dredging as well. So what's the status of that? Because that fund, I would imagine the big dog, like Houston, right? Even Corpus might elbow us out from time to time. But tell me about that.
Yeah, you'd be a little surprised. In fact, this is the deepest port, and looking at extending that, as the vessels that are bringing goods and taking goods. In fact, Brownsville is the next exporter, which is awesome for the state. Those vessels are getting larger and larger, and so it was important to invest in the port, specifically Brownsville, to deepen the port so that they could participate in that. Because if your port's not deep enough, if you haven't been dredged enough, if you don't have that depth, those larger containers that are becoming more and more popular international are not able to dock here and utilize the port here in Brownsville, and so that's been a huge gain for the area.
Kelly Hancock is our comptroller for the state of Texas, doing a port tour for the state of Texas, of course, visiting our port at the Rio Grande Valley Port of Brownsville, and the way things are growing and happening in Texas, high tech and chips that need to be exported. It's LNG here, another LNG on the horizon for us as well, and more products as more businesses come to Texas. Quite the advantage for the state of Texas to have various functional producing, exporting, and receiving ports in Texas. You have some numbers you want to share, more numbers you want to share with me for the Port of Brownsville?
Yeah, I think one of the important things here is the growth that we're seeing in the area. So the port itself creates over 100,000 jobs in there, which is pretty significant. And, Texas continues to grow. We've seen year over year, we have started publishing every month, at the end of every month, our sales tax numbers, not just for the state, but for every region. And, I think no surprise to South Texas is while the state sales tax numbers year over year are increasing about 5%, we're actually seeing larger numbers for this area, this part of the state. And there's significant economic good things to talk about. The average age in this area is lower than the state average. The average sales tax year over year growth is higher than the state average. So a lot of good things happening in South Texas.
So from the Eagles Perch, the state of Texas, thanks to Dallas, Houston, all those places, we're growing close to 5% in sales tax receipts. The Valley, obviously, year over year, and with thousands of more workers, especially Cameron County at the port, and of course Elon Musk, our neighbor, and all the people he's employing, and likely just what we have now. Everybody keeps saying, look for about 10,000 more jobs, LNG and SpaceX, and then they've got in the pipeline these other projects that they're very bullish on. A data center, Harlingen, very bullish on. I mean, the prospecting in Brownsville has grown. This is from the economic development chief. Gilbert was telling us that last year, this time, they were prospecting several projects at about $500 million. He has right now $11 billion in projects and like 10,000 plus jobs in the pipeline, or 20,000 jobs in the pipeline for just the prospects. So, man, you can just imagine how that's just going to drive, sales tax receipts, property tax receipts, more construction, all that stuff. Just crazy numbers.
Yeah. No, the numbers are great. In fact, just last month, McAllen alone, where the state was growing slightly over 5% in sales tax, McAllen was 9.4%. So nearly doubled. And so there's a lot of activity going on. In fact, we'll be heading to Brownsville later on today to tour a new business opportunity that's growing, employing new people and changing the economy.
10-4. The sales tax receipts reflective of what is taking place as far as economic growth for Texas, the envy of the nation right now, still number one destination point.
Yeah, we're the 8th largest economy in the world. We're continuing to grow, 1,500 people a day. And so Texas is leading the nation in employment Our unemployment numbers are relatively unchanged. They sit roughly around 4%, which is an incredibly low number. And, Texas continues to thrive, like you've pointed out, between the data centers and AI. I met with a number of those companies just last week that are coming from California to, not just put in the data centers, but to build the racks and manufacture, which is going to be good paying jobs.
And hopefully bring their own power with them, because we've had conversations about this. Very power hungry. They need a lot of juice, and that's the solution. I remember the governor mentioned, well, some of these people bring in their own generator.
Right, absolutely. And typically that's what's happening. So when the data centers are coming, they know that they have to run 24/7. And so they're working with other investors that are bringing the power. In fact, I was in Abilene a couple of weeks ago touring Stargate. Just outside of Stargate's gates, no pun intended, as 3 gigawatts of power that will power Stargate. In fact, that 3 gigawatts and Stargate itself will utilize more power than the entire city of Abilene. And so when they're building, I know it's phenomenal to think about. Yeah, that some of these data centers are going to use more power than an entire city, and they're bringing that power with them, which just strengthens our grid, makes us more reliable, more resilient, and so another economic boom for the state of Texas.
Beautiful, beautiful. Kelly Hancock is comptroller for the state of Texas. By the way, he's also running.
We are running.
Yeah, to continue.
Yeah.
As comptroller of the state of Texas.
We'd love to keep the job.
Doing the state tour, visiting our Port of Brownsville, and looking at the impact that our Rio Grande Valley Port of Brownsville has on our economy. Of course, you hear us talk about that all the time on KURV. Data centers on the way, and we're looking forward to seeing one here in South Texas. Did you hear that, Freddie? They run 24/7, Fred. So you can work. Freddie's working 24/7, but they pay though. That's the thing.
Unlike here.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. So Freddie might be putting in his application. So last week I was looking at this press release, how you were reminding people of unclaimed property, and your office is in charge of that, trying to connect people with unclaimed property. So any suggestions on, you never know, old bank account, mom's account or something?
We were here just last week with a big event. In fact, I've got the numbers here. We actually returned $62,827.74 to 75 different claims that were, we actually had 96 claims filed, but we were able to complete 75 of those, returning over $62,000 to citizens.
That's a local number?
That's a local number.
Just like one city or the county or what?
No, that's from that event that we had here. So we're not sure where all they came from. But, people need to realize we have $4 billion in the state of unclaimed property that's your property. And so we do encourage, and that's why we have the event, we encourage people to go to claimittexas.gov. That's claimit, CLAIMITTEXAS.gov. And you can begin the process there, and our office will work with you to get your property back.
What are we talking about? What is it? The unclaimed money, unclaimed property? What is it?
So it could be a lot of things. I lost both my parents a couple of years ago. My dad had dementia the last 8 years of his life, and he was a businessman, and so there were various transactions that took place from a business standpoint, and we were able to couple together through 6 or 7 different transactions where maybe funds from banks or closings that took place did not get returned to him. It was small, $3,200, but it's various things that can be collected, and some of those
numbers
some good
are Christmas shopping right there, $3,200.
Right,
I'll take it.
It's a good number, but we've had numbers that we've helped people with as much as $250,000. Wow. And so what happens when you conduct business and maybe they can't find, you've changed address, or if you close out, they can't locate you. When those businesses settle and they owe you money, if they cannot locate you, they then have to turn those funds over to the state. So I would encourage everybody, it is worth going to claimittexas.gov and looking. I would look for your parents. Now you have to prove that, but it could be a lot of little transactions, or it could be a large transactions where you changed address, you changed the P.O. box, and whoever you were doing business with, whether it be a bank or another business, could not find you, and they have a certain amount of time to try to locate you. And when they cannot, they have to turn those funds over to the state. In fact, Sergio, interesting, we have a bullion depository. We found out in touring the bullion depository there in Leander, Texas, that there's $200,000, over $200,000 worth of gold that people sent to the bullion depository with no address whatsoever on it. And so they look for them. Yes, I know. Oops. A big oops.
Wow.
So we then try to locate the individuals that sent that. And if not, then we hang on to it, and that's unclaimed property. Isn't that crazy?
Well, never hurts to try. Hey, yo, Freddie, let's Leander, Texas. Need to spend a weekend over there and say, that's my gold over there. That package without the return address is over there. Kelly Hancock, our comptroller for the state of Texas. How long does the state hang on to that property, bank accounts, cash? How before they say, okay, that's it, no one's coming after X amount of time, and
that's how this is built to $4 billion. Is we literally sit on it. It doesn't become the state's property. So that's
ever.
You might as well come get it.
Ever.
Yeah, I mean it's not our property.
Wow.
And so we try
$4 billion
in unclaimed property.
Maybe we can pass along at some point. Assuming that's quite a bit of extra revenue for the state of Texas. We put it to work. I don't know.
Well, I mean, but it's your money, and that's why. Just last week, we were able to return $62,000 of your money to those who it belonged to. And that's what we want to do. We really want to give these funds back, which is why we have these events, which is why we're talking about it today, and why we have an entire website set up to encourage you to come at least take a look and see. And again, look for your relatives, look for your parents. You'll have to prove that connection in order to receive the funds.
That's wonderful. Our comptroller for the state of Texas, Kelly Hancock. We wish you the joy and peace and flavor of the season, of the holiday season. Of course, great success in 2026. Thanks for stopping by.
I appreciate it, Sergio.
Kelly Hancock, comptroller for the state of Texas. Again, if you suspect you've got some property out there, you need to claim it. ClaimItTexas.gov. ClaimItTexas.gov is the website. This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. Merry Christmas to you and yours, and safe travels to you. If you're leaving town, I know the Wetcos, the kids get out of school today, and some of y'all are you're bolting out of here. So very safe travels to you. Listen online when and if you can later on. All KURV programming is on Radio Para Mi, the free app. We got sports next on 710 KURV.
Some people say you can't spell destination without destiny. Truth is, a destination doesn't need a why, it needs a when. And that when is now. McAllen flies nonstop to destinations you're destined to love. Dallas, Houston, Las Vegas, Orlando, Los Angeles, Austin, Mexico City, or the beaches of Cancun. With one-way flights starting at $100. Enjoy ticketless tap-and-fly parking, a full bar, and VIP lounge. Your summer destiny is a destination from McAllen International Airport. Fly above, beyond at flymfe.com.
And a Merry Christmas from dear friends and also friends of KURV and friends to so many families in the Valley. They've been there for so many families through the years. I'm talking about the McCaleb clan from Weslaco, McCaleb Funeral Home clan from Weslaco. 60 plus years. They've been holding holding the hand of folks who, when the Lord says it's time for a family member to come home. They've been there. They have a very unique, very loving way, a very loving approach, a unique way to deal with that. 60 plus years, living at home in Weslaco. Now, you don't need to go to Weslaco for the following. For many days now, I've been telling you something that I experienced. My mom and dad, before the Lord called them home, and I had that sit down. Not that I forced, no, they called me to have that sit down. So, because I had a friend who reached out to, anyway, so they sat down. My mom and dad pre-planned and prepaid their funeral event many years before they were called home. It's a very loving thing to do, and I recommend it. So call Carla McCaleb from McCaleb Funeral Home. Call or text her at the following number. They will go to you. If you're in Brownsville, if you're in Harlingen, McAllen, Mission area, they'll go to you and have that set down. Pre-plan, let's get all these things out of the way, and then let's set a prepayment. Boom, put it on the shelf, wait on the Lord. Very loving thing to do. Carla McCaleb, her personal number, 956-650-2841.
This holiday season, we'd like to extend a big thanks to our family, friends, and customers. Whether you've been shopping Glick Twins all your life or just recently discovered us, you know we've got the very best selection of guns, knives, and scopes at the very best prices. Glick Twins is your go-to store for holiday shopping because behind the counter is the most knowledgeable and friendliest staff in all of South Texas. This Christmas season, be on the lookout for super specials on guns, scopes, knives, and clothing. From all of us at Glick Twins, Merry Christmas.
This is your home for Fighting Texas A&M Aggies football. News Talk 710 KURV. Gig 'em Aggies.
The 710 KURV Sports Desk is brought to you by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women.
The San Antonio Spurs were able to turn on cruise control as they defeated the Washington Wizards last night, 119-94. Things were close early on as the Spurs only led by 4 going into the half, but that's when the Wizards started to crumble as they were held to just 41 points combined in the second half. Devin Vassell was the top performer with 18 points and 6 rebounds. Next up, the Spurs head to Atlanta to face the Hawks tonight at 6:30. The Dallas Mavericks got another win over a top team as they took down the Detroit Pistons last night 116-114. Dallas outscored the first 3 quarters to lead by 12 going into the fourth. That's when Detroit turned it on with 31 points while holding Dallas to just 19. Defense was the key in the extra period as both teams combined for 10 points in OT, but the Mavs got the 2-point edge with a clutch dunk from Anthony Davis. The Houston Rockets cruised through the first half in NOLA, but the Pelicans fought back to force overtime. New Orleans would take control of the extra period to get the win 133-128. Despite the loss, Kevin Durant still had a great night with 32 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 blocks. Next up, the Rockets continue their road trip in Denver as they face the Nuggets Saturday afternoon at 4. That's your TSN Sports Minute. I'm Jet Nelson.
Thursday Night Football, an instant classic as Sam Darnold hit Eric Saubert for a 2-point conversion in overtime as the Seahawks overcame a 16-point fourth quarter deficit, beat the Rams 38-37 to clinch a playoff spot, take over first place in the NFC West. Rams fall to 11-4. College football playoff kicks off tonight. 8-seed Oklahoma will host 9-seed Alabama in a regular season rematch. That's sports. I'm Bronson Moss.
Friday edition of the Valley's Morning News on 710 KURV. AccuWeather says upper 70s for highs today. And the temperatures that we feel this weekend, that will be your Christmas week. So highs starting this weekend will be más o menos in the mid-80s. Maybe a little warmer, a little cooler at the coast. Mid-80s. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, all Christmas week, says AccuWeather. Yeah, no white Christmas, no cool Christmas either. Maybe in the morning, like in the 60s in the morning. Border Bridge wait times on 710 KURV. It's posted on KURV.com. Let's see here. They've updated the numbers for McAllen, Mission, Edinburgh. 30 minutes at the Hidalgo Bridge. That's the only busy one. Everybody else about 10 minutes or less. And for Brownsville, it's 45 minutes at last check, B&M and Gateway, and 15 to 20 at the Veterans Bridge. It is an honor that you join us on Newstalk 710 KURV. Merry Christmas to you and yours. We got Aggie football tomorrow, round 1 of the playoffs. Go Aggies. They're taking on Miami, hosting Miami. Broadcast at 10 in the morning, kickoff at 11. Aggie football on 710 KURV. Business news up next.
Improve your overall health and enjoy a better quality of life with Dr. T's Primary Care. You're trying to set some new weight goals. If you're too moody or stressed out or just tired and trying to get more sleep, Dr. T's Primary Care can help you with all of that and more. If you're worried about things like low testosterone, Dr. T is a primary care provider from the sniffles to the flu and also offer menopause treatment, peptide treatment, and IV vitamin infusions. McAllen area call 956-803-0058 and in Harlingen 956-368-5247. That's drtsprimary.care.com.
As families get together, some are able to enjoy a blessing of, reminiscing, going to mom's house or abuelita's house and enjoying some home cooking. And man, here in the Valley, we're so blessed to have El Pato, all these El Pato locations, all these restaurants. Yep, they got those same recipes. The breakfast, you get some migas, morning migas, a la mexicana, if you like, with the refried beans that are so good. Everything's so good in El Paso, but the refried beans, the potatoes. Yes, I know it's sacrilege, but look, I put ketchup on my migas. That's just me. I just like it. Get mama's cooking, abuelita's cooking, waiting for you every day. It is so good. It goes down so good. The chalupato plate is the chalupa de tostada, refried bean, lettuce, tomato, the wonderful yellow cheese. They get that from heaven, man. I don't know where they get that cheese from. It is so good. Maybe it's that government cheese back from a long time. Remember how good that government cheese was? Maybe that's what it is, right? It's real good. Rice and bean and the big fat taco de pato with either carne guisada or chicken guisada. Don't forget the red sauce. And the drink, an amazing $7.99 for a limited time. And it's a holiday season and limited time, only holiday season. A dozen hot pork tamales, only $9.99. Take them with you for that gathering, the company gathering, the family, friend gathering. Pork tamales, a dozen, $9.99 at every El Pato restaurant.
Come into Genesis of Harlingen today and soak up the feeling of the dynamic yet elegant design and cutting-edge technology that makes up the amazing Genesis vehicle lineup. Visit today and choose from a great selection like a 2026 Genesis GV80 with an impressive 0.99% APR for 36 months. Come see where refined sophistication meets powerful innovation at Genesis of Harlingen at 8521 Expressway 83 in Harlingen. Shop from the entire line of Genesis online at genesisofharlingen.com.
Audio streaming on KURV.com. Powered by South Texas Buick GMC. McAllen Mission.
I'm Nicole Murray with Your Money Now. House leadership and Republican members say a vote on legislation banning members from owning or trading stocks could get a vote in the new year. President Trump has said he supports a congressional ban, but has pushed back on versions that include the executive branch. Reuters reports President Trump's administration has launched a review that could result in the first shipments to China of NVIDIA's second most powerful AI chips, making good on his pledge to allow the controversial sales. Trump this month said he would allow sales of NVIDIA's H200 chips to China, with the U.S. government collecting a 25% fee. Ford is recalling more than 272,000 vehicles in the U.S. due to a loss of park function, causing the vehicle to roll away and increasing the risk of a crash. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration said the park module software will be updated over the air or by a dealer free of charge. Futures are currently mixed. Thursday, the Dow Industrials gained 65, the NASDAQ up 313, the S&P 500 up 53. That's Your Money Now.
AccuWeather says highs today should be in the upper 70s. And then starting this weekend, the temperatures mid-80s. And it's December. It's Christmas. Lord have mercy. It's mid-80s this weekend and all into next week, Christmas week. Yeah, Freddie.
Yeah, we're going to go visit Mom, man. Movie Mom to get some cold weather. Man.
Yeah, it's probably frozen up in D.C. Yeah, speaking of Mom, movie Mom, she's 4 minutes away. This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. Also at Radio Para Mí. Download the free app and listen on your smartphone. Merry Christmas to you and yours from JP and Jeff at Amigo Power Equipment. The Kubota L Series at Amigo Power Equipment. A reminder that is the number one selling compact tractor in the nation. And at Amigo Power Equipment, JP and Jeff will provide 0% financing, 0% financing if you qualify, and up to $6,000 in savings. Get the equipment that you need, plus the attachments. You know, you could be pushing some earth or chopping up stuff and shredding stuff, and also maybe putting some fence out there as well with the Kubota tractors. Now is the best time of the year, before the end of the year, by the way. And everything that I mentioned here, you can get more information from KubotaUSA.com. Go to the website, get all the specifics there. But now through December 31st, great savings available on the reliable, dependable, the long-lasting, rugged, getting the job done Kubota equipment and all the attachments. 0% financing and save up to $6,000 now through December 31st on Kubota equipment at Amigo Power Equipment, Edinburgh on Monte Cristo.
Come experience larger-than-life luxury and design at Bird Ogden Infinity in Edinburgh. You're invited to come in and choose from a great selection of new Infinities available now during Infinity's once-in-a-wintertime event. Drive off in your own 2025 Infinity QX50, which is 0% APR for 36 months. And all Infinities come available with the Infinity Premium Care Maintenance Plan for 3 years. Experience luxury as it's meant to be at Bird Ogden Infinity on the corner of Alberta and Expressway 281 in Edinburgh. Shop from the entire line of Infinities online at birdogdeninfinity.com.
If you're looking to improve your overall health and have a better quality of life, Dr. T's Primary Care is the place to go. If you feel tired or stressed or less motivated, if you're moody or if you have trouble sleeping, Dr. T's Primary Care will evaluate you and work with you to address your health concerns, including testosterone or menopause treatment, peptide treatment, IV vitamin infusions. Their licensed staff will take the time to listen to you and work with you to improve your overall health. Check out the website, drtsprimarycare.com. Give them a call in the Cal at 956-803-0058 in Harlingen, 956-368-5247.
Hi there, my name is Tony Bolstead. My wife and I, Carol, own Sand Monsters. We'd like you to come on out and have fun. We've got a half-mile long track out here. It runs across about 3.5 acres. Have adult cars and kid cars, getting laps in, learning how to drive on the sand. And we also lease space to Redline Helicopters is one of our tenants here, and they've got a pad and they do helicopter tours. Lone Star National Bank and the team there really helped us get this thing put together, answered all our questions, huge help.
I am Stephanie Harrison. I am the second generation owner of Sisters Interiors on South Padre Island. We had always dreamed of owning our own land and owning our own building, using our design team to create what you see here today. That's how we got involved with Lone Star National Bank. We partnered with them and they helped us, create the dream.
Information on your town and your community.
The Valley's Morning News.
News Talk 710 KURV.
This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. Also online, check out the 7 o'clock broadcast of the Morning News. 710 KURV, YouTube, X, Facebook, Live. And I think Freddie will copy-paste and put it later on LinkedIn as well. So you can go on to LinkedIn. Merry Christmas from producer Fred Cruz and AccuWeather meteorologist Jason Caterina. And from Mom as well. She'll be joining us here in about a couple of minutes, so stick around. Movie Mom, no minnow. News on 710 KURV, a service of Jay Gonzalez Injury Attorneys, ready to fight for you. Call 1-800-CAR-CRASH.
This is a Fox News alert. I'm CJ Papa. Police say a homeless man named John helped crack the case of the mass shooting at Brown University. Fox's Brian Yennis.
Police credit an anonymous tipster saying that he had seen the shooter in the area just a couple hours before the shooting. His name is John, a homeless man and former Brown University student who 2 hours before the shooting locked eyes with the gunman in the bathroom in the basement area across from the classroom where the shooting took place.
Cops say the suspect then murdered an MIT professor who he knew from his school days in Europe.
Authorities identify the shooter as Claudio Neves Valente from Portugal, and his classmate was MIT professor Nuno Lauriero. Authorities say Neves Valente murdered his former classmate at his home outside of Boston.
Fox's Nate Foy in New Hampshire, and President Trump delivers a speech in North Carolina. America's listening to Fox News.
President Trump taking pen to paper and has rescheduled marijuana from the highest Schedule 1 down to Schedule 3. Does that mean that marijuana is legal? No, it just means that perhaps in Texas, sometime in the future, doctors might be able to prescribe it. This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. And every Friday we got Mom, Movie Mom, Nell Minnow. And of course you can see how beautiful the show suddenly is now that mine and there's Mom. And we got, if you see it online, we even got snowflakes. No, not me. I mean, the actual snowflakes, like behind us. Right. All right, Mom. So this is the big weekend for the next Avatar movie. And yes, you saw it. What do you think, Mom? Good? Worth the investment?
Well, if you're spending time with your family and it's getting a little stressful, drop them off at the theater. It's 3 hours and 15 minutes.
So is that why you always drop me off at the movie? Yeah.
I don't know what it is about the Avatar movies. I enjoy looking at them. They're absolutely gorgeous. But by the time I get to my car, the entire storyline and all the characters have evaporated from my brain. What do we always say about movies like this? It's all about the villain. And this one does have an excellent villain played by Una Chaplin. That's the granddaughter of Charlie Chaplin. And she's just terrific as the bad guy in this. She looks like, those lizards. I know you got them in Texas, the lizards with the little frills around their neck.
Yes.
That's what she looks like. Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah.
And she's got quite a sensual feeling about her.
Yeah.
So the action is good. The visuals are great. If you're gonna see this movie, please see it on the biggest screen possible. But in terms of like the plot and the dialogue, no. They should have spent a little bit less on the technology, a little bit more on the dialogue, which, AI could have done a better job.
You said she's the great-granddaughter, or what was it?
Granddaughter of Charlie Chaplin. Yeah.
Una, her name, right?
Una, that's right, because his wife's name was Una. She's named after her grandmother.
That means that, like the other grandchildren, like dos, tres.
No, O-O-N-A. O-O-N-A.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. Now, if you feel like seeing...
Come on, Freddie. That was good.
If you feel like seeing something a little lighter, I've got the new SpongeBob movies in theaters. I would say it's adorable, but you can wait to see that on streaming. But if you need to do something with the kids, go see Zootopia 2, and then maybe you can go see SpongeBob. And then if you're in the mood for a thriller, who wants to go to a thriller before Christmas? But okay, The Housemaid, and that's a good one because it's very twisty turny. A young woman goes to work for a wealthy woman. And who's the good guy? Who's the bad guy? It'll keep you guessing for a little while.
That's not Jennifer Lopez in another Housemaid.
No, different one. Different one. Okay. This one's not a romantic comedy. Okay. Streaming, you're going to see this movie on a lot of top of the year lists. You're going to see it in the Oscar nominations. One Battle at a Time with Leonardo DiCaprio is now on streaming. So take a look at that. One of the worst movies I saw this year is now on streaming. That movie is called Him. Remember, I invoked my famous Gothic rule to give away the ending for anybody who wanted to know. So what I'm going to recommend is if you must watch it, watch like the first 45 minutes and then just turn it off. Okay. Now, next week for Christmas, a lot of great stuff is coming our way, including one of my favorite films of the year, Song Sung Blue, based on the true story of a married couple in Milwaukee who had, we would say a Neil Diamond tribute band. They called it a Neil Diamond tribute experience because it had a fog machine and fans to blow their hair back. Oh, come on. It's absolutely wonderful.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was the camera on that one? Sorry.
Hugh Jackman and Kate Hudson. I loved it. Also, the dumbest funny movie of the year, Anaconda, coming next week. I'll be telling you all about that. And coming up, I'm very excited. They've just announced that when Baz Luhrmann was making his movie about Elvis, he found some long lost footage of the real Elvis that has never been seen publicly before. He's put it together, and that's one of the movies we'll be getting next year, Elvis in concert.
Nice. Very nice. Okay, hug it and kiss, Mom. Have a wonderful weekend, and I probably won't get to see you again before the holiday, so an extra hug and kiss to you. Merry Christmas to you and Movie Dad over.
Merry Christmas.
Behind
Love
you. All right. Love you, Mom. Mom Nell Minnow every Friday on 710 KURV. I'm sorry, Freddie. They're sort of like I can't hear you with these headphones. Sorry about that. Chamberlain Roofing Waterproofing. It's precisely what you need at your commercial properties. Get them out there for free, gratis. The top experts in commercial roofing systems. Like Chamberlain Roofing Waterproofing brings 125 plus years of experience, and they know the materials and the roofing systems. They know all the different roofing systems that you have. Maybe got some warehouses out there, some other commercial buildings. Get them checked. Those roofing systems, get them checked. Free. They do this in order to meet you. Handshake, get the crews up there, and they can report to you. Expert report on the condition of your commercial roof, telling you if you have any weak spots. If you don't have any weak spots, any exposure, potential exposure, they'll tell you and probably tell you, hey, call us again in 6 months or 18 months, whatever. That's Chamberlain Roofing Waterproofing. That's an expert way of getting to meet you. These folks have amazing projects. not only in Texas, not only in the Valley, nationwide. You get to know them. You need them for your company, for your commercial roof. Because once that commercial roof fails, man, shut you down, and worse, even shut your clients down. ChamberlainLTD.com, cutting edge roof installation, repair, and upkeep technology, advanced waterproofing waiting for you. Call 956-655-6178.
Power, performance, and savings. The Coyote year-end clearance event is on now at Rivetta's Machinery in Donna. For more than 50 years and 3 generations, the Rivetta families proudly served the Rio Grande Valley, and today they continue that tradition with Coyote, and trusted for power, reliability, and value. Right now, they're clearing out Coyote tractors, zero turns, utility vehicles, and compact construction equipment, all at incredible year-end savings. From the small but mighty 21 horsepower models all the way up to the brand new 140 horsepower Coyote HX 1402, they have the right machine for every job and every budget. And with financing as low as 0% interest and zero down payment with approved credit, there's never been a better time to join the Rivetta's family. Go see why generations of hardworking Texans choose Rivetta's for tractors, equipment, and service that go the distance. Visit them on Expressway 83 in Donna between Hutto and Valverde Roads. Rivetta's for the long haul. See dealer for full details.
Introducing the newest destination